It's more of just like a question. Because I may or may not need to change my list. We're doing monsters, but I didn't know if I didn't know if this like qualified as a monster, so I wanted to run it by you first to see if I needed to put it on my list, because I'd have some pretty serious changes to make if I didn't run it by you. But I thought it was worth running by you. Drake's penis.
I'll let you take the intro this go around.
Okay, cool. Welcome back to Rank Thing. No, I get to do the intro and I fuck it.
Stupid. Welcome back to Rank Things, the show where we rank kings. I'm your host, Lick.
And I'm... Okay, good. And I'm your other host, Newis. I wanted to think, like, because sometimes you like mix words and they just don't come out how they should.
That's true.
And I was like, I don't know how this is gonna sound. Give me a second to think about this in my head.
Let me run it by my brain real quick.
Yeah, exactly. But no, Newis is fine.
Very excited for today's episode because we're brought to you in the same outfits again, and appropriately.
Are you tired of my Russian shirt?
Yeah, appropriately for the first week of April, I guess this will be. We're doing monsters.
Oh, yeah, this is the first week of April. Actually, when this comes out, will it be... I think it might be April 5th when this comes out.
Yes, I think you're right. Something in and around that.
Okay, so for some reason, I was thinking that was April Fool's Day. It's not. It's April 1st.
Yeah, it won't be on April Fool's Day.
But April 5th is one of my friend's birthdays, I think. Or might have been my grandmother's birthday. I always mix the two of them up.
There's my dad's birthday is April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah. Congrats, Dad Rankin.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, he's
happy
1
birthday.
year older. How does it feel to be 25? So
wow, he had you just so depressingly early.
Really tanked his life. Yeah. But we're doing monsters. This was an episode idea that I believe. I think this was an idea I had like when we were applying back in October to be on Redacted.
You've got a lot of ideas locked away in like a little document. I know you do. I have them locked away in my little brain.
Yes, long-term memory.
I just don't like. Sometimes I forget them and it's very upsetting. But I
just like the really silly, goofy ones. I just like
the
idea of doing
These
monsters.
Are so much fun.
I believe the exact thing I'd written down on my phone was like goblins and ghouls. Like was the way I wrote it.
That is how you wrote it. That's right. I remember you sending me a text at the beginning of the year being like, we should do goblins and ghouls.
Yeah.
And I was like, I enjoy that. I like that one.
Those are two very specific types of monsters.
So both of which are not on my list.
Well, so my number 10 for my monsters is the original. You know, it just tastes great. But yeah.
I did a podcast a long time ago where every single episode we ranked 2 drinks.
Oh, I remember you telling me about this.
Yes, and we did an entire season of energy drinks, and so we did monsters, and we did like a whole bunch of other shitty energy drinks. Moral of that story is you should really only drink monsters or like Red Bulls, because everything else tastes horrible.
I had this weird energy drink one time where the cans were completely like one color. Like they didn't really have any branding on them. It was just a purple can, a blue can, and like a green can, and it was pretty good. I grabbed the purple one because it was like grape flavored. I love grape flavored things.
We tried. There was a ton of different ones that we tried. We tried NOS, so nitro. We tried.
Did you try Bang?
No, we did not. It wasn't available. Exist, yeah. It was not available in Canada at the time.
It's like new, kind of like overall. Like I think like 2020, maybe 2019. I don't know.
That would have been around the time we were recording, because Bang Energy was pretty popular back then. I would have been around 16 when I was recording that. That just feels. That makes me feel so old to think about those podcasts as being when I was 16. It's actually so depressing because it feels like it was yesterday.
Well, speaking of so depressing, all right, monsters.
Give me your number 10.
My number 10.
Yeah, dude. Give me number 10.
Oh shit! I had a bookmark. Bookmarked?
Yeah. Bookmarked.
I hold on there.
Yay, Nick Learning Woods.
There it is. Monsters. My number 10, very classic, you know, very, very quintessential. This monster, when you see it in a thing, they're typically like comic relief. There's like a bunch of them. They're being silly. I remember specifically in the second live action Scooby-Doo, they're like silly little side characters, and I think they serve this a lot. And it's fun. I have skeletons.
Skeletons,
you know, maybe they play their rib cage, you know, and they do like a little like xylophone thing. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with skeletons as monsters. You know, they're always just so goofy and like slapstick. I think that's fun.
I have a skeleton on my list somewhere, pretty close to the bottom, but he's a specific skeleton, a specific monster / skeleton.
Gotcha. I don't know if I know any.
I think you might when I tell you.
Maybe.
Because, I think you might when I tell you. It's kind of for the older folks. I say older folks like they're that old. They're not that old. I'm
a skeleton.
Around our parents' age.
I'm basically a skeleton.
No, skeletons are good. When I think skeletons, I think Minecraft.
So do I. I was just sitting here thinking about, like, I was like, skeletons, and I was like, God, those things are so annoying in Minecraft.
Yeah, they really are.
Because they can shoot you.
Yeah, the long range. That pisses me off.
I feel like 99% of my deaths in caves in Minecraft have been from, like, me trying to run away and getting shot by a skeleton. But like they're so goofy, you know, and they
are. I like that you added the play the ribcage. That's very, very good.
Also, spooky, scary skeletons goes hard.
It does. That's been around for so long. And you know what joke has been around for so long that I love? The hey, are you today's date because you're
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
For,
yeah, exactly.
October 10th.
Yeah, they've been doing that for so long.
And it'll be like, hey, are you today's date because you're 24
I like it
10.
Especially on October 1st because you're 1 out of 10. And I was like, that's so
like it
funny.
Especially on like the 4th or something, because that way it's way more specific.
Yeah.
You're 4 out of 10.
What day of October are you? You should rank yourself based on the days of October.
It's really bright out again. Do you want to flick that light on?
I think it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because it's just it doesn't add too much actual light. In terms of, it was just making it, because if it does go dark again, which I think it probably will, it just made your face very orange. And I was like, Nick's not orange.
Cat's back also.
Yeah, if you didn't watch last episode, which you should go watch that now, we did animals, and we had these wonderful little guys as our guests, didn't we? Oh, you like that, don't you? Yes, you do.
So hit me with your number 10. Number 10 monster.
My number 10 is just a classic, but it can't go any higher than 10 in my personal opinion, because it's overused. People use it too much. It's zombies.
That's interesting.
Is that your number 1?
It's not my number 1.
But it's pretty high up there, huh?
Might be.
Yeah, okay.
Might be.
I just find
love zombies.
I do. I like them, and that is why it is on my list.
I do feel like we should save this for when it gets to mine, because
you're gonna have a lot to talk about.
I'm gonna have a lot to talk about, and I think it'll be more interesting if I'm allowed to say what I like while you're allowed to say what you don't like. So let's
okay.
Tell me why. We'll put a pin in why you don't like zombies.
Okay,
we'll get to it.
Sounds good.
The cat's on the table, but we're recording a podcast, so he wins right now.
He does. As long as he doesn't steal the SD card, then he's fine. That SD card's shot anyways. It's okay. Give me a number 9.
My number 9.
Yeah.
9. I really like these guys. So as a kid, I was a big Scooby-Doo fan, and I was a big Batman fan.
Yeah.
So I was drawn from a lot of those things when making my list.
Okay.
So one that's pretty prominent in architecture in Batman stuff, and I think I've been a monster in Scooby-Doo. This is a really interesting one. I wrote number 9. I have gargoyles.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, they're not on my list, but they are cool.
So gargoyles, for those of you who don't know, they're kind of like half man, but also like they're very monstery looking. Like, typically gray.
Half man, and I compare them to goblins a lot.
They're goblin like. They have and they have wings, and so normally they're like on statues, right, where they're sat like they're just like sat like in a stance. But then in a lot of stuff, like they'll come to life and then like chase people.
Yeah,
and like
that is very Scooby-Doo-ish. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
very much. And a lot of times when you watch a Batman thing, a lot of architecture has gargoyles in it, and it's like it's also fun, incredible name, gargoyle. Yeah. That's great. I love that. It
is good.
They're just silly little guys. Well, I'm gonna say that for all of them because
they're all silly little guys. Like really, some of them aren't little.
No, gargoyles actually are very much not silly or little. Might be guys. I don't know. But they, I just think they're interesting.
They're kind of fun.
You know what they actually how they look is I would say they're very like devil-like.
Yeah,
almost. But they're gray because they're like I don't know if they're made of stone. Or I don't know the lore of gargoyles. I don't know if the lore started as them being made of rocks and came to life, or if people started making statues out of gargoyles and then they thought like, oh, what if the statue came to life?
I mean, they have to be old, right? Because I believe
they're definitely old.
They qualify it. So for some reason, I could not I can tell you why, but I'm not going to go into why I know so much about it. But I know a lot about Gothic architecture.
That's sick.
Okay, I did a project at one point, and gargoyles qualify as ornate ornaments. Okay,
Damn.
And which is something that was very common in Gothic architecture. And Gothic architecture was, I think it started in like the 1300s. So gargoyles are very old.
Yeah. Also, like, if you at home listening right now, just say gargoyle. I don't care what room you're in, how many people are in it. Just say gargoyle. You're gonna have a great time.
Even better if you're actually like on a subway or something like that.
Just
Can you scream it if you're in public? That'd be great.
Don't even like scream it. Just like say it loud. Just be like gargoyle. That's almost weirder. It's like you're not yelling it. You're just saying it into the ether. Yeah.
It's like you're acknowledging one's there. Yeah. Everybody's like, what? Where?
Gargoyle. Yeah, like how a baby points out something. Dog. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So hit me with your number 9.
Yeah, number 9.
Number 9.
Again, kind of the same reason that this is so low on my list. They're kind of overused in pop culture, and for some odd reason sexualized by a lot of people.
I have a guess of what this is now.
Vampires.
Okay, I figured. Vampires are also overused. It's on my list. It's in the back half though, because it's the same thing where it's like I'll save entirely my thing about zombies until we get to it.
Yep, absolutely, we'll save it.
But vampires, I can agree with where they are oversaturated, and I feel like there's less to do with them.
Yeah, I like the original Count Dracula. Count Dracula's pretty fucking cool. If we'd stopped at Count Dracula, he'd be so much cooler.
I really want to start that show, What We Do in the Shadows, where it's like a sitcom that follows of like vampires.
Okay.
And it's like, so they've been around for centuries, you know, like, and they like, it's, like, I think there's a lot of fun and interesting stuff to do with vampires. However, I would like to start to see some light on some different monsters.
The one show that I do remember really, really liking with vampires was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I think it's a great show, but also she played Daphne in
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, she played Daphne in
the live action
Scooby-Doo's. But also just a very, very good show. I like that show a lot because they kind of just took a different approach to all of it. Anyways, so that was kind of.
Do you remember? Oh no, you didn't have cable.
Run it by me, anyways.
There was a kid show on Teletoon. It was My Babysitter's a Vampire, I think.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yep. I saw it and I don't have anything.
Okay.
I don't remember. So, yeah, vampires oversaturated. That's fair.
Yeah. Give me your number 8. Let's hear it.
My number 8 is goblins.
Goblins.
Again, like just like little guys. Those are little guys. I think they're like running around. You know, and it's like they're goofy. I have them in my head as with like skeletons too, where it's just like they're just like. I'm thinking like Clash of Clans, you know, like they're just like they're green, they're mean. I don't know. It's just like, you know, there's the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. I just feel like they're also like a very like hijinks based monster where they're doing like little silly shenanigans, again, like more Scooby-Doo stuff where it's just like more of like a pest if anything. But I think there's a lot of interesting stuff you can do with them.
Goblins remind me of like they're just like little green creatures that run around and steal gold. That's what it makes me think of.
I think you're thinking of leprechauns.
No, they dress green.
You're always after me, Lucky Charms. I can't do that in an Irish accent. But yeah, no, I think goblins they're fun. You know, I'd make a thing with goblins in them.
Yeah, no, goblins are kind of cool, and you're right, but like,
fun
just
name.
Fun little guys. Yeah.
You're number 8.
Number 8. Now this is the specific one I was talking about with skeletons. I believe he's some kind of skeleton and some kind of. Anyways, he's a specific monster. He is a specific one. Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Oh, I really thought you were about to say Eddie McTrumpet's in his grave is a skeleton.
Eddie.
Because he was cremated. In the video we never shot, but scripted.
That's right, yeah.
Laura, I'll tell you the lore. This is rankings.
We can tell you exactly how it happened, yeah. So we went to visit Eddie's grave. Mm-hmm. Nick and I both went for different reasons. I went to visit Eddie. Nick, for some reason, went to spread his ashes.
Yeah, spread his ashes at his grave.
At his grave.
Good friend.
Yeah, and then that's kind of that's how I found out he was cremated, at least.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't realize you had to pick one.
What did you think they were gonna do?
I thought you got a grave and then also like here's some ash, you know.
Like I don't know if you also get that. Like you can get a grave if you want to. I think maybe
Yeah.
I feel like I should look more into this, especially as I'm becoming an adult. Like, I feel like this is something adults should know.
Just throw me in the trash.
Throw me out.
Throw me in the trash.
Yeah, so Eddie from Iron Maiden.
I don't know.
So Iron Maiden, band from, I couldn't tell you when, but I attribute them with the 80s because they are a hard rock band. They had a mascot. The mascot's name was Eddie, and he was a big skeleton. And now I've just got a lot of fond memories of Eddie because I grew up around rock music. He's just kind of cool, and I also thought it was really cool and kind of ahead of their time to have a mascot, especially one that is like kind of so dope. I don't know. I can't really think of bands that have mascots other than like Gorillaz, but you can't really count them as mascots. That's just the band members.
That's true.
So I kind of thought that was cool.
Well, Queen had that like crest. They had like a crest on a few things.
Yeah.
But
does that qualify more as a logo?
Yeah, not really a mascot though. Damn, that's interesting.
It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And again, just one of those ones that I kind of wanted to talk about, so I threw it in the bottom of the list, knowing it wouldn't go anywhere.
I know there's a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, but I don't know if they've ever shown what King Gizzard the Lizard Wizard looks like.
Yeah, there is a band. They had a song okay. I believe they had a song in either Skate 3 or the even older Skate game, Skate It. I believe
Skate Ed or Skate It?
Skate It.
I was going to say like Skate Ed, like that's
on the Wii.
Damn, I feel like that would work. I think you could motion control some skateboard.
So old. I went back to it not too long ago with some buddies and realized just how old that game is, even for the time frame that I was playing it.
Damn.
So I was like, wow, because the graphics are like very like smooth people.
Oh,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like N64, but like a little bit after that. But like,
yeah, it would have been like, I mean, the game would have come out in the very, very early days of the Wii. So you're talking probably 2007, 2008, 2009 maybe.
Which is crazy to me because games were still coming out for the, like I think Majora's Mask came out on the N64 in like 2002, and the GameCube happened between the N64 and the Wii. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, but remember, you can also play GameCube games on the Wii.
That's true.
Right? But no, that was my number 8 just because I always thought he was cool. And he's just kind of a, like, if you saw him, he's a good monster. He's a great monster. They made a very
good monster. Yes, you are.
Yeah. But no, they made such a good monster. I was just like kind of shocked. Like, it was a very good mascot.
I will just very quickly say my 7 because it's vampires for the reasons we talked about earlier where it's just kind of oversaturated, but I do think there's fun stuff to do with vampires. I would like to do some scripted, like some video with vampires eventually. That would
be very fun. I think that would be really cool. Do it like a sketch.
There's just so much lore with vampires.
I feel like there's like a lot of
there's a sketch or like a short film and like that
in there somewhere.
I still think there's untapped no pun intended veins for
I think so.
Vampires.
I think Twilight just kind of ruined it for everybody. Like they weren't bad movies or anything, or bad. It was just like, again, it kind of like it all of a sudden sexualized vampires. I at least I think that's when it happened. I want to say that's when it happened.
That's big stretch, Cat. Okay.
But like that just like
I just
took the monster aspect away for me.
That's true, and like I don't know. It's vampires. They're as classic as they come for monsters.
They are very classic. And
but
again,
there's
as
a lot
I said,
of other
like
slept-on ones.
Count Dracula, very cool.
I cannot wait to get to some of these on here. Can't wait for you to hear my 1.
We're gonna blow through my number 7. Blow through it, okay? My number 7 is the one underneath my bed.
Drake's penis?
He just Drake's penis, yeah.
He's chill, we get along.
Every time, yeah, exactly.
Would you say that you're friends with the monster that's under your bed?
I haven't heard that song in ages. Is it Rihanna?
You think I'm crazy, but that's not fair. I think so.
And Eminem.
I think so.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But yeah, no, he scares me.
Dead air. Oh.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Get a siren for when there's dead air. Whoop. Yeah. It helps so much that there's like proper video now.
That's true.
So that it's not just like people can at least see how we're interacting. We're on the same screen as well. Yeah. I think that was one of the things with the live show where it's like nobody could tell where we were sitting. Also, I sat like this to the camera on the live show just because that's how we had to interact. Whereas like now I can kind of relax a little bit more, chill out. Yeah, it's much better.
I do enjoy the more relaxed vibe of this.
So yeah, 7, the one underneath my bed. I just thought it was crucial to have there.
That's chill. I appreciate that. My number 6 is this guy. He's a classic.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a big fan of the book they came from. I would love to see more with this, or just like I think it's a good concept. I think it's a great story. That's Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
And I specifically said Frankenstein's monster because there's always that one person who's like, actually, the monster's name isn't Frankenstein. That was the doctor. The monster's name was Frankenstein's monster. But everyone just calls him Frankenstein. And it's like, shut up, I don't care.
I have him on my list for sure.
Frankenstein?
Yeah.
I wrote Frankenstein on the paper, but I know that's not. I know it's not his name, but yeah, no, Frankenstein. He's a cool. It's super interesting. The idea of like, because it's a reanimated person, but it's not at all like zombies.
So yeah, if you think about it as well, it's such a unique monster because it's not really even a monster in the traditional. Like, there's so much you could. I feel like that's zombie, one that you could use for so many TV shows and shit that people don't use.
I think there's still so much untapped ground with maybe not like specifically like Frankenstein, but like just like that concept because he's kind of like a zombie, but like his brain kind of works. Like the zombies, like they reanimate, but they're just like very simple creatures.
All
they're
thinking about is eating. Yes.
Yeah, and so
and he doesn't want to eat anybody.
No,
he's just.
He's afraid of
To
fire.
be loved.
Yeah, it's. I would love to read the Frankenstein book. I would actually read that, and I'm not a big reader, but Frankenstein seems like a chill dude. I'd get a beer with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of beer do you think Frankenstein would drink? I feel like
he's probably an IPA guy.
I feel like the vampires would be IPAs.
Yeah,
I think Frankenstein would want just like he's a simple guy. I feel like honest to God he'd have Busch Light.
Yeah,
like
no,
not Busch Light, but just like Busch.
Yeah,
like he's just like I just me want beer. Point me to beer.
Yeah.
Well, we have the selections. Our international, our domestic brew.
My number 6 is a classic from mythology.
Ooh.
I think at least. It's the Cyclops.
I thought about putting it on the Cyclops. When I think of the Cyclops, I think of Skylanders, weirdly. Love Skylanders.
Really? Okay.
Cyclops is fun. Still another silly guy. You know, he's got the one eye.
Yeah, he
normally
just
has like a club. He's normally just like...
Yeah, he's just kind of like... I don't know what it is about him. He just is an appealing... He's appealing to have on the top 10, but not in the top 5.
Yeah,
so that's why he is right in at number 6.
I can get on board with Cyclops. He reminds me of two that I don't want to say them in case they're on yours, but I doubt they're on yours. That Cyclops is in the same vein for me that I thought about including was either a centaur or a minotaur.
Okay, because I thought about including those two. Yeah, I did think about including a minotaur actually. I didn't.
A minotaur?
Yeah. Is it minotaur or minotaur?
I always thought it was minotaur. Minotaur is the one where it's got the head of not a horse, head of like a.
It's got
bull,
horns, right?
maybe.
Yeah, it's a bull. Yeah, it's a bull.
And it's like little, and it's got the body of a human. It's covered in hair, but it's got like the
body of a human, head of a bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always called it a minotaur. I don't actually know which one's correct.
I think it's minotaur.
Bingus?
Yes, Bingus on the table.
What is he staring at?
I know he's got like the Batman like on the table right now. Even the audio listeners can't tell, but also the video listeners can't tell.
No,
either.
I have a city to protect. I have a table to protect.
2:30 a.m. all out of cat food. I'm just thinking of like have you seen the new Batman?
I haven't.
I love that movie.
I need to watch it.
You do. It's an incredible film.
Yeah, I know. Just Robert Pattinson as well is a very good actor.
Yeah.
He's kind of slept on sometimes.
That's why I'm so upset the sequel got postponed by a year. But I'm really excited for next summer to watch Superman.
Yeah,
Superman Legacy.
That'll be cool.
Gonna be so good.
That'll be cool.
So my number 5 now is a werewolf.
Werewolf. Oh, that's such a good one. Why didn't I think of that?
Werewolf is so cool.
No.
They have also an incredible weakness being silver bullets. That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Werewolves, when done right, I have this. So in the Scooby-Doo games for the Wii, there was this werewolf where it was like big and gray, and like I always liked how that werewolf looked. I just like that they have kind of like the Hulk predicament, where it's just like you are a person until like a monster that's inside of you that you don't really have control of comes out when there's a full moon. I still think there's a lot of interesting things that can be done with werewolves. just think they're interesting. I just think they're really. I'm like.
They really are.
Yeah,
they really are. My favorite one is Professor Lupin from Harry Potter.
Damn, I haven't seen or read Harry Potter. I was a Star Wars kid.
What the fuck? Yeah. Well, yeah, you can be a Star Wars kid and still.
Well, my theory.
Watched Harry Potter.
My theory is that
I also liked Star Wars. However,
this theory normally reigns true for like a lot of guys I've met, but it's not. Okay. It's not exclusive to guys. But it was that like normally you had. Like, you may have seen the other ones, but the one that you were fascinated with, you had one. It was either Star Wars, Harry Potter, or sometimes Lord of the Rings. I didn't know if you Lord of the Rings people.
I loved Lord of the Rings as well.
All three? Damn.
I liked all three.
I think he's going for the SD card.
Werewolf is very good.
Werewolf is a fun pick. I think. Yeah, I like the Hulk like kind of conundrum that they have. And,
yes, very Hulkish. Yes,
and I like the werewolves when it's you turn into like a very different creature. I don't like it when they're just like you're the same height and the same build, but now you're covered in fur and you have like a snout.
Yeah, like an '80s version of the werewolf.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Like, have you ever seen the It wasn't actually even in the 80s. I learned recently because I thought it was in the 80s, but it wasn't. It was in the 60s. The 60s Planet of the Apes.
Really? It was in the 60s?
Yeah.
Damn, I haven't seen it, no.
Have you ever seen photos of it?
Yes, I have 1,000%. Yeah,
they just dressed humans as chimpanzees.
Yeah,
and it's so funny because it's just like a dude with a kind of like hairier face. Yeah, like, it doesn't even look like a monkey.
No, it's just a hairier man.
Yeah, and so I remember seeing that and being
Planet
like, wow,
of the hairier man.
But yeah, it was in like '63.
That's crazy.
It was early '60s. Sanity. Yeah. That's older than some people's grandparents.
Before this is kind of off topic, but before we go to the final list, I have a few like honorable mentions that like for whatever reason I didn't fully count them as a monster.
Okay, cool. Let me give you my 5 because my 5 is a classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic alert. We have so many alarms now.
Part of me. Yeah. Next time you see us on this, we're gonna have a ton of alarms put on the wall.
Like the Pentagon and their clocks, but instead it's just like
all different colors.
DEFCON 1 through 5.
Yeah. I think you'll probably have this one on your list. Maybe. But I could be wrong. It's Ghosts.
Oh, Ghosts are classic. I don't know if I have Ghosts on mine. I didn't put Ghosts on here.
Ghosts are such a classic because
Ghosts are fun.
They've been used a lot, and there's a new Ghostbusters coming out right now that's probably not going to be good. But I feel like there's so much more that you could do with Ghosts. Like Ghosts can also just be good.
There's
too.
a lot you can do with Ghosts.
Ghost is just a person,
that's dead.
Dead. So like that. There's like a top. Well, actually, my favorite instances of ghosts are in like, Scrooge.
Oh yeah, the Ghostmas. Wow, the Ghostmas. The Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future are all like those are really interesting.
That's such a good idea, and I also think there's so many more spin-offs that could be done with that. Like I don't know if you ever saw, the one with Bill Murray. There's one Scrooged.
I haven't seen it, but I'm
80s or 90s movie. Might have been early 90s.
Sorry, that cat, Boo, you looked like you just jumped in like slow motion. That was crazy.
Yeah, you kind of did. He kind of just stretched and then hopped.
And now he's here.
Yeah, cat back.
Get on the floor, cat back.
But yeah, Scrooged was like a modern take on it for like, I don't know, late 90s.
They've done another
80s,
modern
90s.
take on it. The one with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds is also based in the world of Christmas Carol.
Is it? I haven't seen that yet. That's called...
It's
kind of something close to Scrooged. It ends with ED, doesn't it?
I think something with Jingle.
Jingled.
Yeah.
But no, I just think ghosts are cool. There's just so much stuff that can be done with ghosts.
I would love to do I would love to make a thing with ghosts. I had an idea a while back for a sketch about like a man and his roommate was a ghost.
Also, like that's just like the first thing on this list where it's like if I died and came back as a ghost, I would not be mad.
Depends, because like the whole thing about ghosts too is that it's like you became a ghost because you have unfinished business.
Yeah.
What is that unfinished business? But also a ghost who one of my favorite slept on superheroes in the DC world is Dead Man, who no one can see or hear him, but he can possess people. And then he'll talk, like he'll just like hop into like whatever thing, and then he'll talk.
Oh, that's really cool.
And he's just super interesting. There's also a Batman villain that's underrated, Gentleman Ghost, who's just like he's just like an old timey like like he's got like a top hat and a monocle and like a trench coat and like a suit, but like he has no face or hands. I from my knowledge, so he's just like those things. Like there's just a lot of cool stuff I think with ghosts that you can do.
There just is. Yeah,
I'm shocked I didn't put ghosts on mine, but my number.
I am too.
My number 4. Okay. I'm really happy with this one. I put a Yeti.
Whoa!
Yeti, yeah.
Oh, what a good one!
Yeah, exactly.
Like Yeti,
Excuse me while I take a sip from my Yeti.
What's the other one? There's Yeti, Sasquatch, and
like a Sasquatch and Bigfoot are like the same one, right?
And Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot's different. Bigfoot's like a. I don't know. I used to have a
bigger footed Sasquatch.
Yeah, I used to have a book of like a whole bunch of different monsters. I'd have to see if I can find it because it's so cool.
Yeah, these guys all were at the Mash, the Monster Mash. It was a graveyard smash. I don't know if you're
aware.
Imagine
seeing a Yeti at a Monster Mash.
I like the Yeti from Monsters Inc. where he gets banished.
Oh,
and I also, there's this episode of the Backyardigans where Pablo is a Yeti.
Okay.
And he always just keeps going, Yeti, 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 Yeti. And that's his cry. It's just saying it over and over again. So whenever I see or hear anything about Yetis, I always just think of Yeti, 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 Yeti.
Does Sully from Monsters Inc. count as like some kind of Sasquatch?
I don't think so. He's like blue and like purple. I don't know.
I guess they all count as actually. You know what? We'll get to that later because I have that way higher up on my list. We're gonna get to that. In a bit.
Don't click buttons. You should.
We're not going to spend very much time on my number 4.
Yeah.
Because I also said Frankenstein. So cool. It's all the same reasons. We can move straight past that one. It's just. It is such a cool idea.
Yeah, monsters are cool, man.
They are. This was such a good episode idea.
Yeah, I would love to make a movie about like any of these guys, not like just like a remake of like here's the telling of this thing, but like my number 3 is fucking crazy.
Okay.
I believe this also comes from Greek mythology.
Okay.
Are you familiar with a Hydra?
Oh, I sure am. It's on my list.
Actually?
Yeah, dude.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's on my list.
So a Hydra, for any of you that don't know, is like a dragon, but it's like if one head gets cut off, 3 more grow in its place.
So cool.
So you'll see it where it's like typically like represented with 3 heads, but it's like if you cut off one of those heads, then it'll have 5. Like and so like Google some of these. You just want to lick my hands right now.
It's so cool.
It's pretty cool.
For audio listeners, he's talking to the cat.
Yes. Yeah, you just want to lick my hand right now.
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see it in your fucking eyes.
You said Hydra, and I was like,
I'm hungry.
I could lick those fingers.
But yeah, Hydra. I'm shocked you have that on your list. That is not.
I do.
That is an unorthodox pick. I was sitting there like, that was gonna blow my. I don't think you'll have my number 1.
No,
but that's crazy. Yeah, it's a cool ass monster.
Okay, cool. So my 3 that obviously means that either your 3 or 2 is your zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your number.
Anyways, my number 3 is a real life monster,
which is Drake's penis.
Loblaw. It's not. That's not. I'm kidding. These grocery prices. Am I right? No, it's not. The Loch Ness monster.
Good.
I just like all the I just like all the conspiracies behind it. I just think it's such a cool idea.
And that picture is so classic. The one of
the black and white one. Yeah. Of like the baby Loch Ness or whatever. Yeah. No, it's such a cool.
Yeah, interesting concept.
Yeah, I don't obviously believe that it exists.
Actually, it's a funny thing about that I saw once that makes a lot of sense was that like people thought they saw Bigfoot, whatever. There's that black and white picture of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But like when you think about like a lot of these monsters are super super old, like from whenever they got made, and like especially things like the Loch Ness monster.
Yep.
But like these things start to make a lot more sense when you remember that like glasses didn't always exist. And people had bad vision and didn't know they had bad vision, so they saw a thing and it's like I swear it was this. Like it's like we like
that is kind of wild, yeah. If you're like nearsighted or something.
Yeah, and like back however when I don't know when glasses were invented, but like if you were before that, then like you also probably didn't know that your eyes were worse. Like my eyes, I do need glasses for distance.
Yeah.
But if glasses didn't exist, I would just assume everyone sees like how I do.
Yeah.
So like,
especially because that one nearsightedness makes more sense as well, because it would make more sense for things to get blurrier as they go further away.
Yeah. No, exactly. It doesn't feel like I have bad eyes until I put my glasses on, or until someone points something out far away, and I'm like, oh, I do have bad eyes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't wear them most of the time. I've been wearing them recently because they're useful in class. But
yeah. You're sitting in the back of the class like, what is that?
Any questions? What does all of that say? Literally everything.
But no, like the Loch Ness monster is just so cool. It's such a cool lore behind it. The idea that like a dinosaur might have survived through all this time just living in one little lake, also really, really cool.
Yeah.
I think the odds.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, I think the odds of it existing are pretty slim.
Kind of similar to my number one.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
But my number two is zombies.
It's your zombies. Perfect.
Zombies.
That's what I thought.
I know there's so much zombie stuff out there, but I'd be damned if the zombie apocalypse is one of the best tools to do a character-based story. And I think it's always so interesting, like when people come, I think The Last of Us, like the game and the show was really good. I think The
Last of Us, are they zombies though?
Yeah,
they turn into creatures. They don't turn into like zombies. They turn into walkers.
Because they're like,
or not walkers. No, walkers is Walking Dead.
Yeah, clickers and stuff. That's The Last of Us. But like they it's a fungal thing. You know, you bite someone. If you get bit by it, it takes over you and it takes over your brain. That's zombie 101 is you get bit and you turn into one of them. I just think that's so interesting because the monster is us. We're the monsters. It's like it's a virus that's like someone dies, you come back, now you're the monster. And it's like a thing where it's like they're not scary by themselves. But like in a herd, like they completely like change the planet and all these things.
The thing that I don't like about zombies is just how oversaturated they are. They also do... The idea of a zombie apocalypse also does kind of scare me because it is a pandemic in and of itself, which we've already lived through one, and we saw how effective that would be. I used to be
afraid of the zombie apocalypse when I was a kid. And
I was never like
life as I know it being like all the things that we take for granted right now that we don't.
Yeah,
like brushing
nobody
your
to listen
teeth,
to our podcast.
Like that's true. No one listened to rankings.
Yeah,
like,
there's not zombies out there being like, oh, this is good. And if there were, they'd be like, number 2, really?
What should number 1 be? Paige.
Yeah.
But like you wouldn't be able to like without running water because no one would be there to run water.
Yeah.
You would not be able to like shower, brush your teeth, like all these hygiene things, like super easily.
It's just so like
toothpaste shit expires. You know? Like how do you know how to make toothpaste?
But the thing is like that can happen with like any kind of pandemic too. Which is what scares me about like pandemics and stuff like that, especially as I said, like having gone through one and seeing how thank God this one was not as effective as it could have been at wiping out population, but just seeing how effective it could be though. Yeah, exactly. Seeing how effective it actually could be had it been like an extremely lethal, like turning into zombies. Had it been an extremely lethal disease, that just kind of it just irks me in a way that I don't like thinking about because it's a very out of our control too.
Yeah, that's what's like it's terrifying about them. But like in terms of just like media and art, I really like a lot of zombie things. I know it's basic a lot, like everyone does. I just don't in media
either. Like it's just so overused. I don't know. Also, zombies also do exist in real life. Have you seen the bugs or the parasites or whatever that like invade like ants' brains?
Yes,
and, like,
that's what The Last of Us zombies are based on.
Okay, yeah. Is that like that's so insane that does actually exist.
It's super interesting, I think, and it's zombies. I think was also like zombie apocalypse was high up on my list for Ways for the World to End. I think because it was like that's the apocalypse that we have like a shot at. And it's just I don't know. Like there's so many different types of zombies that people have created over the years. I think there's a lot of really interesting stories that still can be told with them. I agree it's oversaturated right now, but I don't know. I just think it's so fascinating that like that story.
If we took like 10 years off from making zombie movies and we came back with a really good one, I'd probably be on board. It's just that something new with zombies comes out every fucking year and it's not really ever any different. Like it's kind of like a natural progression. So it's like, if you look at like zombie movies now versus zombie movies 30 years ago, they're different.
Well, there also aren't really zombie movies anymore, which I'm okay with. I think one thing we've learned about zombies in the zombie apocalypse is that they're more interesting when you spend time there. Yeah. Like we want to see you keep going. Like a zombie movie, it's like cool, like that was 2 hours of like, the apocalypse. But what happened after? Yeah. That was the whole idea behind The Walking Dead when it started, was a zombie movie that never ends.
I'd love to see a zombie movie where they actually found like a cure or something found a new way. If there was like some kind of solution that somebody could come up with that was like actually kind of cool. But like every zombie movie kind of ends with them just being like, all right, we made it to a somewhat safe city. Yeah. And then it's done. And now you're like,
we live to fight another day.
Yeah. But like my big thing with like a zombie apocalypse is what the fuck is the point of trying to fight on?
The point of the point of life is to live.
Yeah, because like the only point of fighting on in those movies feels like so they could make a movie.
That's fair. I do recommend the Walking Dead comics though to you and anyone listening.
Yeah, we were talking about that before this.
The show, I think like I haven't finished it. The show, but I do think like it was good for a while. It was really good for a while before people started to people started to turn on the show.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it, so I won't speak to its quality, but I do really like the comics, which I also haven't finished. But there's that's a lot harder on me is to sit down and read a bunch of comics and just to like watch a show. But I've always enjoyed my time with it, and like yeah, like I don't know. I don't love all the changes that the show made to the books. Like there are some changes the show made that were 1,000% better, but like it's super interesting reading The Walking Dead, because it's like, yeah, what if a zombie apocalypse never ended and we just keep seeing these things like
I like my I don't know, I just, there's something about them that I just cannot get behind. It's just, I think it is just because of media.
That's fair.
And because of just how much they're used. Because I feel like there's so many other goblins and ghouls.
That's true.
Use out there.
That's true. I do want more movies about these other
monsters. Yeah.
But I do enjoy the zombies. So that's your number 2. Your number 2, right?
We're gonna blow through this one again. Hydra, man.
Hydra.
Hydra's my number 2.
I cannot believe that was also on your list. That is insane.
Such a good monster.
That's crazy.
Such a good idea for a monster. I know that it exists
Endless
within the same world
heads
of like Medusa and stuff like that.
So Medusa was gonna be one of my honorable mentions. Where I'm like, that's a really cool concept, but also like she wasn't always like that. Does she count as a monster?
She's not really a bad person. She's just kind of. I don't think she's a bad person either. I think it's just the fact that like you look at her as like it's more of a curse. Yeah. Cursed woman rather than a monster.
I think so. Yeah. Like that's like maybe not pick her. And then I didn't pick Mummies at all because I thought they were kind of lame.
Mummies was also one that I kind of. The only thing that I could think of when I thought of Mummies
wrapped in bandages
was the Mummy. And then I thought about the Mummy, and I was like, I don't know
what make mummies unique other than that they're wrapped in bandages.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I don't really know if I want to talk about the movie The Mummy, because it was good for the first one.
They're like zombies, but they don't want to eat you. I think they just are dead and want to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like there's more interesting versions of that.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
My number 1. I'm very proud of this.
Okay.
I have the Kraken.
Yeah.
The giant squid.
Yeah.
Giant. Like if you Google the Kraken and you find like some cool pictures online where it's like taking down ships, like that's crazy.
And you're
that's
right.
Cool.
That one is kind of just based off of real life, because there's some pretty big
it's a giant
squid
fucking squid.
There. Yeah, there's some, and that one's way closer to reality than the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Kraken's in like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but I'd love to see a movie that's like more focused around like maybe.
And like, have you ever seen a giant squid?
No, not in person anyway.
So. Or at least to a point where you can tell the scale of it.
Yeah.
They're a lot bigger than people think.
Yeah. Like
they're obviously the Kraken's a bit of an exaggeration.
Huge.
But at the same time, like if you think about back, hundreds of thousands of years ago when, bigger creatures did exist on Earth, that could have easily been a thing. That could have easily been a thing. When we've got things out there like the Megalodon that were...
That's true.
Like the Megalodon was also huge. I saw like a rendering of how big a Megalodon would be. And it was like just mind-bogglingly big.
Have you ever seen like museums where they have like all the teeth? And it's like
Jesus.
you see all, how many teeth they have, and then also just how big the jaws were.
Ridiculous.
Jaws,
so ridiculous. So scary.
Yeah, the Kraken. It's. I would love to do something with that. I think it's super interesting because also you're so helpless when you're in a boat at sea. If the thing can crush your boat, like it's terrifying. The thought of being on a boat and having that thing there,
dude,
absolutely destroying you. It's crazy.
Horrifying.
Also, Release the Kraken is an incredible. Like I don't know where that came from.
Neither do I actually,
but I know it came from somewhere. Release the Kraken. It's from somewhere.
It's got something like, pop culture. Someone let us know. Yeah. Comment section is
my
for a
guess
reason.
based on nothing is Monty Python. That just sounds Monty Python.
That would be kind of funny if it was actually.
But yeah,
that's probably a pretty good bit. My number 1, Boogeymen.
Boogeyman.
Now I say boogeyman because do you know like kind of what the boogeyman is?
Like the guy who like fucks with you while you sleep.
So it is just a figment of your imagination kind of thing. So like when I was kind of reading up on all this stuff, they were talking about how this generation's boogeyman is Pennywise. Pennywise is this kind of generation's boogeyman because he's real, to a degree. And whereas,
like in the context of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then there's also like there's
movies
ones like
book. I got it backwards. 1 book, 2 movies.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger is also in your nightmares. So I just think that is such a cool concept to be killed by killed by something that is only within your head.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Like what a cool monster, and I would love to know more or see more, like a new boogeyman, like because obviously like it was written at least in the 90s because they had the one they had the old It movie as well. Yeah. So like it's an old book. And obviously Freddy Krueger's an 80s movie, or like Nightmare on Elm Street is an 80s movie. So I would love to see like a new boogeyman, like a new invention of one. Because I think we could do some really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? On Childish Gambino's album, Awaken My Love, there's a track called Zombies, and there's a track called Boogeyman.
Really?
Yeah. No track called Kraken.
The more you know. Yeah, I know.
That's interesting. I am very different number 1 picks.
Very different number 1 picks. Just very different kind of lists.
Yeah. One that I left off that I was saying the other day to someone else that I would love to do something with is I would love to do something about the Invisible Man. But I was like, I had a hard time classifying him as a monster because he is just an invisible man.
Yeah.
And typically like shown as just like floating glasses. It's just like, it's I would love to do something with that. Probably not a horror thing because I don't. Or maybe like there could be a horror thing where it's like, I don't know.
He's just kind of a serial killer that is invisible.
Or I was going to say that like everyone's like afraid, like very simple terms. Like everyone's afraid of him, including his like friends and family, but he's not like actually a monster. But that's like what would like be like more like psychological horror, go down that route.
Yeah.
And less on like look how scary this man is because he's invisible. But I do think he's it's an interesting concept. But again, just a man you can't see.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing about him that makes him monstrous. It's just that he's invisible.
No, that's kind of a good one.
So I felt like I couldn't put him on the list, but yeah.
I'm gonna get a friend. There he goes.
Every podcast needs a cat, needs a cat, needs a cat.
See, he's our producer. He's manning the controls right now.
What do you think about monsters? All right. We've given you 2 chances.
I was going to say,
like
just as audible as last episode.
So I guess we go to the final part now.
We go to the final part.
Yes, our monster mash right here.
Yeah, this is our monster mash dream list.
Yeah.
Dream monster blunt rotation.
Well, then I want the Invisible Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I want him back. I want to see the smoke like go like
travel down,
travel down and then work its way back up.
You see it like fill out 2 lungs and go back out. You're like, whoa.
The Invisible Man. He's like, that guy's cool as shit. I love that guy. He smokes a ton of pot, but it's okay because he's invisible.
Would you see the smoke
going in him?
Yeah. Fucking skeletons. I think so. Skeletons, you definitely would.
Yes.
You see it leave them.
I don't know.
Skeletons couldn't get high.
That's true.
Poor skeletons.
What a way to live. Top 10 monsters. Clearly, I'm going to have a hard time with zombies. But we'll come to that later. My number 10 was skeletons.
Well, I can sacrifice zombies as long as zombies. Okay. Actually, let's start with zombies.
Zombies, regardless, is going to be on the list. I know it won't be, and I don't want it to be number one.
Let's get zombies right out of the way.
Okay.
Let's do it right out of the way. We're going to go really weird here because it's going to go in the middle, and we know that. Let's get zombies. Okay, because it's my number 10. It's your number 2.
So split the diff like 5 or 6?
Yeah. Let's just toss zombies at 5, make things easy. That's going to be our hard one anyways.
I also like that it kind of gives us a spectrum of just like what, it's got to be worse than zombies. It's got to be better than zombies.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I like this.
This is kind of a good way of doing things, actually. Maybe we should find the middle ground more often and then go from there.
Okay, so my number 10 was skeletons.
Number 10 was skeletons. My number 10 was zombies, so it's already off.
I feel like skeletons is good, although the more I've looked at my...
I'm good with it going at 10.
Yeah.
What was your number 9, though? Because we can toss those up, too, because we know we're going to have to sacrifice a number 9.
My number 9 was gargoyles, although I'm pretty cool with sacrificing goblins, which is my number 8.
Okay,
I'm
because
cool with
my number 9 is vampire. I know that my number 8 and my number 7 are going to get sacrificed. That's the thing, right?
You like the marker cat?
Because my number 8 was Eddie from Iron Maiden. My number 7 was the one underneath my bed.
Well,
so we know those are going to get sacrificed.
Well, yeah, because technically, the Iron Maiden one is skeleton.
Exactly, he's a skeletal. He's like skeletal. I don't really know what he is.
And
I would
okay.
qualify him as like a ghoul.
Ghoul.
To be honest, yeah, because it's kind of just a broad term for a lot of different monsters. So we know that those are going to get sacrificed. So
yeah, you really like moving my book.
So where do you want vampires? Because that's my number 9.
Here's the thing, right?
Are they worse?
Vampires.
They're worse than zombies.
Yes, vampires are definitely going to go here just because I find them a little less interesting than zombies.
Yep.
They're definitely more interesting than skeletons. I think 9's too low, though. There's a lot of good vampire stuff out there.
Let's toss vampires at 6.
Yes, I'm cool with that. That makes sense.
That one like checks out.
These two have been kind of oversaturated, so they're sitting in the middle of the pack, but there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Okay,
there's
so
just a lot
vampires
of
at 6, and then
could you real quick pass me a paper towel?
Yeah.
They're just hanging right behind you.
What is he doing?
The cat?
Yeah.
No, he's fine. It's for my nose.
Oh.
My nose be running, and I don't want to keep going like.
There you go.
Wow. And I probably won't even cut that because
What's the point?
it's just gonna make an awkward cut. You can know that I'm coming back from recovering from a cold.
We're real with our fans.
Exactly.
We are
Exactly.
ourselves when we talk to you. We actually are. We're actually pretty good at being ourselves on this show. I'm actually pretty proud of how we're. This is pretty much how we are.
In real life, I'm not even blonde.
My hair is. I'm bald actually. I wear a wig for every single one of these shows.
What were some of your other ones again? In your like 5 and up?
5 and up, like back towards 10.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other real one on there is Cyclops. So like you can.
I think Cyclops gives pretty. I think.
Do you want it on there?
I think so.
What else? What is your 7 and 8?
My
And
7 is vampires.
Yep. So vampires done good.
So I have 9 gargoyle, 8 goblins, 6 Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein
Better than zombies. He is like a better zombie. Because I have him at 4.
Yeah, let's put Frankenstein at 4.
We're doing this list so weird today.
This is we've never Frank in fixed shit.
Frank is in Stein, not just. It's not Frankenstein. It's Frank is in Stein.
This is our third recording, so I'm like my brain's like starting to get fried.
Starting to get fried. Yeah, that happens. Usually after the second one, I'm like, okay, I gotta.
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had like such a fun one for it though, because I was still able to.
We should honestly, every time we do a third recording like this, we should just make it a very fun one and make it
goofy.
very easy to do. What are we at for time? Because I feel like, it's already been an hour.
Oh really,
dude?
We're longer than the other one.
Well, it's been 53 minutes.
Oh, gotcha.
So we're not longer than the other one yet, but by the time we finish, we'll be around the same time. Yeah. Insanity.
I think I like gargoyle. I like goblins. I like cyclops. But I feel like we have like a very strong. We both have very different but very strong 5 through 1. That I think we should be picking apart. I think Yeti, as interesting as it is, doesn't really have much going for it. I think Yeti's a good number 9.
Yeti number 9, perfect. That fills out some of your, or that takes away from your 3, 2, 1, right?
Yes, that was my number 4.
That's a great idea to take away from your 3, 2, 1 because that's gonna make things easier.
The only ones that I have left from 5 through 1 that aren't already on the list are Kraken, Hydra, and Werewolf. I feel like werewolves, honestly, I think they're cool, but really thinking about it, and like here we have like some like pretty like classic monsters.
Werewolf is not going here.
I think werewolf has to go there.
7, yeah, 7 makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
What are we gonna do for 8? You said werewolves, Kraken, and Hydra?
Yes.
I think Hydra, just because we both had it top 3, is gonna go top 3.
For sure. I think
okay, here's what we'll do. We'll take one of my top 3s away to make this easier as well. Let's take Loch Ness out and put it up at 8.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Because it is a real one and just kind of just like a conspiracy theory. Less of a monster than more of a conspiracy theory.
Mothman is another like conspiracy theory. Are you familiar with Mothman?
I've heard of it.
Something like if you see him, it's a sign of either like, I can't remember if it's a sign of something bad's gonna happen or something good. Probably something bad because he's like a monster.
Death to come.
Yeah, but he's like just like a man with wings. But like people will see him and it's like if you like read anything about it, people will say like, I swear I saw Mothman and then X happened. So it's another like folklore kind of like I did for also a bit thought about having the chupacabra.
Okay, yeah.
The goat sucker.
Yeah.
So that means mine, Kraken and Hydra. And
so Frankenstein and Loch Ness are off. So my 3 that I've got left, because Cyclops didn't make it on there. No. So Cyclops is not going to be. I'm okay with Cyclops not being on the list. That's like a very easy sacrifice to make.
Yeah.
So I've got Boogeyman, Hydra, and Ghosts.
Oh, Ghosts should be on here.
See, that's where I was kind of like, ooh.
Ghosts should be on here.
He just did a little like wiggle before he jumped out.
Yeah, he's revving up.
Yeah.
Damn, this is hard. Let's come back to Ghosts. Ghosts are definitely going to be here. I don't think Ghosts are top 3.
No, they're not top 3. Because I'm thinking
should we put Hydra here, like for each head? 3 for each head it starts with?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm thinking that Ghosts might be able to take Skeletons off and just
I feel like
take 10.
Here's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is that I feel like Skeletons are so classic that they have to stay.
Or do we take Yeti off?
Do we take Yeti off?
That's a way easier sacrifice. Because Skeletons are classic. Yeah, let's get rid of Yeti for Ghosts.
But I also like how Yeti is so like unorthodox, you know?
It's unorthodox, but it's also.
I don't want to get rid of Loch Ness. I don't want to get rid of that.
Neither do I. Like Loch Ness and Down, I'm really, really happy with where they are right now.
Okay.
I think Yeti.
Controversial one here, just because I'm literally my main motivation behind this is that like 1, it's oversaturated, and 2, it'd be really funny if they weren't on the list. Vampires? I think we take off vampires and put Ghosts there at 6.
I would like Ghosts at 6 because that would be a really nice spot for Ghosts to be. I put Ghosts at 5 on my list.
Yeah. I think it'd just be really funny if we just didn't have vampires on the top 10 monsters list. But like,
fuck it, I'm good with it. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. I had to think about it. I had to think about it because also with the oversaturation of zombies, where I was just like, do we want to do that? But Ghosts just are better.
Biased. I'm for sure. I'll admit that I'm biased towards zombies. I love that kind of media. That's my number 2. So I was like, I can't get rid of that. But it's like we both scored vampires pretty low.
It's so hard to say the Yeti's better than a vampire.
Oh, I know. It's so fun that a skeleton is better than a vampire.
I can see. Yeti very difficult. Just because it's not like a
Yeti has such
monster.
Untapped potential. That's why I want to keep him around.
I'm okay with that.
He's the least talked about Sasquatch.
Yeah, he is. He's the least talked about of the really hairy dudes that are just living by themselves.
He deserves more attention.
There's the Sasquatch, the Yeti, and Ted Kaczynski.
And my uncle.
Just hairy dudes living by themselves.
I just think it's really funny. And like, you're right, Ghosts need to be on here. So that means what? Kraken and Boogeyman?
And then Hydra, and then we've got Kraken, Boogeyman.
For like the battle out for this one?
Yeah. Which one's better?
I don't know if it's just like my brain is telling me because it's bigger, it should be 1. The Kraken.
I think that this is pretty clear, especially just based on the fact that we are doing monsters. I think Boogeyman goes 2nd.
Okay.
Because they're slightly less monsterish than a Kraken. A Kraken is a monster.
Yeah, and the Boogeyman is more of like a...
He's a monster mixed with folklore.
Yeah, and like 1,000% a monster. But like that is also something that like, I don't know, maybe if you're like tripping balls on something, or if just like how your brain's wired, like you could see a Boogeyman. That's kind of what like sleep paralysis is.
Kind of what pulls it up to 2.
Yeah,
because like realistically, like up here we've got our folklore. Right? Mm-hmm. Down here we've got our like monster, like we've got a Hydra and a Kraken. That's a monster.
Yeah.
But a Boogeyman is right kind of in the middle where like it's a monster, but it's also if it couldn't actually happen to you, it could be like 5.
Yeah.
But if you like actually do have sleep paralysis and do see Boogeyman, that pulls it down. That pulls it down to a 2.
And also like the creative potential for Boogeyman, because it's like what he would. He's in your mind.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't be saying he, like that. It's in your mind.
Yeah.
And like so it plays on your fears.
Yeah.
So if you're not scared of vampires, for example, you won't find a vampire movie scary. Yeah. But like, you know, like the Boogeyman is just like the vessel for you to live your worst fear. That's why I really like Scarecrow from Batman stuff, is that his whole thing is like he's got like that toxin that he'll inject into you and you see your worst fear. And it's like it's a lot more personal that way, and there's a lot more avenues. It's like there's a lot of potentials for this. That's a good list, I think.
It's a great list. I'm very happy. I've been really happy with all the lists that we've done in the past 3 episodes.
Weeks, yes. Not like werewolves, there's only so much you can do with them, really. That's why I'm okay with throwing them up.
Same with really anything up there. Yeah.
But like, yeah, this is like, there's not just like one kind of scare you're going for.
And
with
again,
this.
like I think if we came up with a new boogeyman,
yeah,
it'd be so cool. You could do so much cool stuff with that.
that's great. Well, then I guess we'll go around and do the top 10
Kick her off.
monsters with number 10, skeleton.
Coming in at number 9, we've got the Yeti.
And at number 8, we have Loch Ness. I was going to say the name of the monster, but I can't remember. Nessie, right? Nessie.
Loch Ness.
Nessie.
Nessie.
That's
Yeah.
I was like, I think it rhymes with Yeti, so I should have said. But it's not Nelly. It's
At
Nessie.
number 7, we've got werewolf.
Number 6, we have ghosts. Boo.
At number 5, we've got zombies.
Number 4, we have Frankenstein.
At number 3, we've got Hydra.
Number 2, we have the Boogeyman.
And at number 1, we've got
The Kraken. Release the Kraken.
We're really good
Release the Kraken.
We're really good at doing like the in sync, like at the end. We're really good at that.
Finding our groove.
Yeah, we
I
are.
would like to see that trending
I
on.
would hope we would after 5 new episodes. Holy shit.
5 new episodes and also like
An entire
15
season
overall,
before. Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
I would love to see trending on Twitter like they did for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Hashtag release the Kraken.
yeah. Hashtag release the Kraken.
We want to see it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
What
I
a
also
great-
I'm going to actually, for like one of the first times, I'm going to pull up my phone where I have a draft
For those that don't know, we don't use phones.
Yes, exactly.
So that's why this is so special.
Of every monster I wrote down, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to read the ones that didn't end up making my list or yours. So
Yeah.
I wrote down dragon, which I then found Hydra, which was cooler dragon. I wrote down ghoul, which I Googled. And I was like, oh, ghoul is not just like a term for monsters. It's a real type of monster.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any attachment to it. I wrote down mummy just because it's one, but we've already talked about how that's not interesting. And then 2 that we didn't tap on that I do think deserve some focus is that there is like monstrous versions of wizards and witches. And I think that's pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Like a monstrous
witch.
wizard.
A witch would count as
witch are more typically monsters, but wizards
Yeah.
weirdly aren't. But like you can have like monstrous.
That's probably some kind
wizards.
of really
Like
far back
sexist,
misogynistic. Yeah.
Yeah. But like a monstrous wizard is also pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that would be.
Like because it's just a witch,
Voldemort.
but it's a witch, but man.
Voldemort's definitely a monster.
Yeah. That's
Anything
true.
with no
That's
nose
true.
is a monster. I'm so sorry. Never mind. If you don't have a nose, on the odd chance that someone without a nose is listening, you are beautiful.
Yes.
And we love you.
Just the way you are. I think you're amazing.
We can't end the episode off with singing this time. We did that with Seal last time.
Yeah, and that was incredible. It
was.
Yeah, monsters. I'm really glad we did this one. This was super fun. Me
too.
I think this is a solid list. Comment down below. What are your top 10 favorite monsters? Do you agree with our list? What would you change differently?
Drop a sub.
You should subscribe.
This has been Rank Kings, and we ranked a thing.
And we'll see you next time.
Ooh.
That was stupid.
I'm going to leave your house now.